Good morning, everybody. It's Mindy, and I'm here to work on my painting and hopefully get a lot of it done and chit chat with you for a while. I have lots to talk about, and hopefully today I'm just going to talk, and get a lot of my painting done while I talk. So I'm going to try to just ramble for a while. How does that sound? Hope you don't mind. Yeah. Anyhow, this is my Chuck Pinson, and as you can tell, this is my first section I've worked on, and I haven't gotten a lot done. You know, sometimes life just gets in our way, and that's what's been happening to me. Things are happening. I've been busy. I don't know. I'm not making much progress. So when I said that I won't finish this in a month, well, I'm really not going to finish in a month at this rate, am I? And you know what? It's fine. It's just fine. It's just the way it's going to be. You know what? Where's it going? It's not going anywhere. I don't have a set deadline I have to have it finished by. I'll get there. I'll get there. Anyhow. I will say that some of you out there, this is Wednesday. Chuck Along started on Monday. It's only been a couple days, and some of you guys are just out there rocking it, man. You are kicking it. I'm like, how do you have that much done already? I don't know. I can't do it. But anyhow, good for you. Good for you guys. You know, I thought those were hooked together. Okay, guess not. So anyhow, like I said, mine will get there. It will get done eventually, someday, you know. But wow, let me just start with talking about the Chuck Along. You guys are, wow. That's all I got is just a great big old wow. I've been trying to keep up on Facebook with the posts, and I'm up to date actually, but I get on several times a day and look at the posts. So for this week, you know, there's a post in our Facebook group. It's pinned to the top of the page. It says an announcement. If you can't ever find it for some reason, just go to the announcements tab at the top, and that's where you'll find all of the good stuff you need to know. Well, not that it's not all good, but at least things related to events and stuff like that will be posted in the announcements. So Maritza put the first week's post up 12 o'clock, midnight, 12 a.m., whatever you want to call it, on Monday morning, and people have been just posting nonstop ever since. When I looked earlier today, there were about 650 posts. Now, not all of those are new starts. Some people have actually put some progress pictures in there because that first week, the first post is for both things, your start photo and your progress photo for the first week. So some people, you know, I think they just wanted to make sure they had their progress photo in there. And so they went ahead and they worked on it a little bit and put a photo in. And that's fine. Just please remember, just only one start photo, unless you finish one and you're starting over again, a new one that, you know, you can do that. But one start photo and then one progress photo in that post, please. Just one. That is not the place to post your progress every day or anything like that. If you would like to post your progress daily or a few times a week, please do that on the hashtag on Instagram. You know, hashtag ChuckAlong3. You can post every day over there if you would like. But in this weekly post, please, one start photo and one progress picture. Next week, there may be a couple people that have a start because they got their kit late or something. So there may still be some starts next week. But next week's post is probably mainly going to consist of that week's progress, okay? You have all week to post. You don't have to post on Monday. You know, you could post on Saturday after you've made some good progress all week long. It's totally up to you. Post when it's convenient for you, but you have a whole week to do so. So just please remember, keep it to one post, okay? One post per week, except for this week when you can have a start and a progress. One other thing, please keep in mind that the post is only for chuck-along paintings. It is just for starts and progress. It is not a place for conversation. Remember, this is where Maritza is keeping track of all the entries. So we want it to be as clutter-free as possible. So it's not a place to post other paintings or just chit-chat. If you want to do that, that's what we have the group for. You can post all you want in the group. Just please keep the weekly post to chuck-along only, posts. Your starts, your progress. Okay? All right, thank you. Thank you very much. That will make Maritza so happy. And if you are posting things in there that don't really pertain to a start or a progress, that post will most likely just get deleted. We'll clean it out of that post so that it's not cluttering up for Maritza when she goes to, give everybody their points, their entries and whatnot. So, use Instagram if you want to post multiple times a week. Facebook, put your one post in there for the week. Any other comments and chit-chat and sharing and everything else, just use the main group page for that, okay? Okay, I think we got that squared away, but I'm blown away how many people are actually participating in this, you guys. It's amazing, amazing, okay? The number of people that have joined the group, probably so you can do the chuck-along. We realize that. And that was not really our intention, was to grow our group when we did this. It really wasn't. It's a nice extra benefit, I guess, that the group has grown because of the chuck-along. But really, it was a decision based on accessibility to the posts and ease of recording your points, your entries, okay? And that's why we chose the Facebook group over Instagram even, so. But thank you so much for all of the new people who have come and joined the group for the chuck-along. We hope you stay, we hope you stick around and enjoy our group. We think we have one awesome group on Facebook. Everybody is nice and kind and helpful, and you guys are amazing at helping each other. You will hop in and you will answer someone's questions like pronto, before even one of the moderators can see it. So that's amazing that you're helping each other out like that. We really appreciate it. We love our group. We really do. Our group, we think, is just amazing. Yeah. So thank you so much for doing that for us. We love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else I really need to talk about? That one's upside down. These purples are hard to tell if they're right side up or... Did I get it out of there? Yeah. Right side up or upside down. I'm having a hard time telling until I, wiggle it. And then I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel right. Can you tell when you have one that's in the wrong way? When you wiggle your drills, it's like, nope, that don't feel right. That just don't feel right. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. I told Maritza I was just going to come right out in this whip and chat. And I was going to tell you everything I know as it stands. We don't have the giveaway ironed out yet, like exactly how we're going to do it. We're still talking about that. And here's why. We're talking about it because I knew what prizes we had, that's kind of my job, I guess. I go and I've secured, sponsorships and participation and whatnot. And so I kind of knew what was on the table, you know what I mean? But then here comes other people wanting to participate in the giveaway portion of the Chuck-along. Yeah, and we're like, whoa, okay, awesome. So let me just tell you how this has gone. And I'm going to tell you everything I know that we have so that you get excited. We want you to be excited. This isn't like, a Santa gift and it's a big surprise. Nope, I want everybody to know right up front and be super excited about what's going on. Okay? So no surprises here. No, not really. But anyhow, yeah. I spoke with Diamond Art Club and they graciously agreed to give us gift cards for the event. They gave us four $50 gift cards. Very generous. Thank you very much, right? Thank you very, very much. That is why the Chuck-along is being restricted, I guess. I hate that word, but to Diamond Art Club Chucks, okay? Because of that very generous sponsorship. So thank you. Of course, I have chatted with Chuck himself. I love that man. He is so wonderful. He is the best, most humble, awesome person. He's great. He is always willing to help out. He is so overjoyed and excited and happy with the love that we have for his work. He's always there and paying attention and willing to support. So just like last time, he has sent me a package of prints, all autographed prints, and that will be one of the prizes, or somehow that will be in the prizes. Not sure how many, not sure how we're going to do it yet, but there are prints, okay? I'll leave it at that because we really don't have that part of it ironed out. And here's why. If it was gift cards and prints, we knew how to do that. That's what we did last time. But other people have come forward asking to donate prizes for our event, right? Prizes. We have 2 companies, hand-turned pen companies. So there are 2 pens being graciously donated to our event, right? Awesome. Just awesome. And gosh, I'll be darned if I can remember both of their names. I'll put it on the screen. I'll have to go back and I'll have to look and I'll post it on the screen, okay? So that you can know who those generous sponsors are. So there was that, 2 pens. A good friend of ours, Gwenda, has come forth and wanted to donate a gift card to Diamond Painting with Sparklers. Yes. So we have a Sparklers gift card, a very nice Sparklers gift card. I don't want to say too much about it because I'm not sure how we're going to actually manage that prize, I guess, is a good way to put it. How we're going to give it away, exactly how we're going to deal with that one. And that's what I'm talking about. Some of these, we're not quite sure of what we're going to do yet, like how we're actually going to give them away. We're talking because we did not anticipate these. Okay, these are just things that have kind of come up and surprised us, really, really surprised us, and we're so grateful. Okay, so there's that. And then my good friend Melly is donating a canvas at Diamond Art Club. She had a couple and she let me choose which one. And I said, well, people are really liking Randall Spangler lately. She has a Randall Spangler that she is donating. So we have that as well. So we have an additional several prizes to give away. And Maritza and I, like I said, are still trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do that. There will be a live at the very end of the Chuck-along. And that date is yet to be determined because of some other things that we need to take care of as well. And I'll talk about that in a second. But we're not certain on the date yet for the live, but that will be a live giveaway drawing where the points have been tabulated, the entries have been tabulated, and we give away prizes. Okay? So I will let you know the date of that when that is settled. So that's prizes. That's what's going on with prizes, you guys. There are so many awesome things. And thank you so much, so much to everyone who came forward and wanted to be a part of it. That's just amazing. The support, the response to this event is just, it's overwhelming. Not overwhelming. Overwhelming means you can't handle it, but you know what I mean. Amazing. Just, wow. Okay, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, you guys. It's amazing. So, one other bit of information that I want everyone to know, and this is almost for certain, but kind of tentative at the same time, is Chuck Pinson himself. Chuck is coming back. Yes, he is. He will be in a live, and at this point, the date we have talked about is March 27th, so near the end of the Chuck-along. And as we've been talking, there's some cool ideas being tossed around. Some stuff that's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah. Super, super excited about that. Like I said, the man is amazing. Kind, just, he's wonderful. So stay tuned for that, right? Stay tuned for that. That will be super exciting. Like I said, I think the date will probably be March 27th. It could change, but that's the date that we've talked about. Like I said, it's not set in stone at this point. Super exciting, you guys. Super exciting, right? It's amazing. So that's what we have going on with the Chuck-along, you guys. The support and the participation is amazing. The sponsorships are just beyond wonderful. I mean, they're awesome, great, just wow, delightful. I can't be happier, honestly. So yeah, keep posting your pictures each week. Each post will get you an entry. Maritza makes a nice spreadsheet and puts them all in a spreadsheet, and you kind of get like random numbers. That's kind of how it works when we do the drawing and stuff. Your entries might be number 7 and 233, and you know what I mean? You'll get like random numbers for the drawing. Yeah, so exciting. I'm enjoying every day going to the Facebook group or Instagram and seeing who has posted something. It's just, and the pictures. I mean, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Somebody started a poll in the group, and that's fine. They started a poll about what canvas everybody was working on, and people were putting in their vote there. Last I looked, I think it was still Space for Reflection was the most popular one. Yeah, we thought maybe because Space for Reflection was available in the stores, maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. This one that I'm doing, Inspiration of Spring Meadows, is up there at the top. That was fun. That's been fun to watch and see what everybody is posting and watch that poll, And then somebody else started, can we do like hashtag inspiration or hashtag island life, a little shorter name to kind of track things in the Facebook group. That's fun too. You guys, the stuff like that you do is pretty cool. You know, you guys come up with some ideas that we don't, and that's pretty amazing. That's fun. Lots of fun. I've been trying to watch those as well and enjoying that. So cool. Awesome. You guys, like I said, we have the best group. We have the greatest people. You guys are amazing, okay? Amazing. And like I said, the people who have joined just for the chuck along, I truly hope you stick around in our group after this, because I think we're fun and helpful and just a great bunch of people in our Facebook group. So welcome, and, you know, stay a while, okay? Stay a while. Anyhow, okay. I don't think I have anything else to say about the chuck along. So, like I said, I want to keep you here for a while today so that I can get some things done on this painting. If I'm talking and you're listening, I keep painting. I'm making more progress. Look, I haven't even gotten the C's done yet while I've been talking to you, right? Still working on those. Anyhow, yeah. I'm going to tell some stories because Chuck Pinson, to me, is about nature and beauty and the world around us and how amazing it is. And so I'm going to try to have my WIP and chats focus on things like that. Nature, beauty, adventure, peace, calm, serenity, you know, all those things. Okay, so I'm going to try to focus my WIP and chats over the next month on things associated with nature and the world around us. So this was not the story I was going to tell. I have another story in mind to tell that reminds me of this canvas, actually. But I thought I had to tell this story first. Okay? And it's totally nature related. I was awoken the other night about 3:30 in the morning. My dogs. Dogs whining, whimpering. Either my one dog has decided in the middle of the night she either wants water, like she's dying of thirst, has to have a drink in the middle of the night, or the bathroom, one of the two, or both. So it's 3:30. I'm like, okay, let's let you out to go to the bathroom. 3:30 in the morning. You know what 3:30 in the morning in the country is like? Just saying, okay? I turn on the back light. I put them out, send them off on their way. I go get something to drink myself, give them a few minutes. I go back out to let them in. And when I open the door, I hear this sound. And I could not figure out what it was. Now, when I look out that door where I was standing, down the road gets like there's some woods, the river heads down that way. A lot of farmland is down that way. And then I have these neighbors that live kind of across the way. They're about probably a half a mile away. And they do all kinds of interesting things. Like they've been known to like shoot their guns at midnight and just, you know, weird things go on there. I don't know. So the sound is coming from that direction, that general direction. And it sounds like music, like some electric, techno, screeching, loud, you know, sounds like that, you know, all these loud noises. And I was like, what in the world is going on at 3:30 in the morning, right? What is going on? And I stood there for a second, waiting for the dogs to come back in, and just listened, like trying to figure it out. And then it changed. The sound changed. And then I could distinctly hear barks and yips and excited dog sounds. a lot of excited dog sounds. Like very, very, very many dogs. And I was like, oh goodness, that is a pack of coyotes. A pack of coyotes. They are literally about a half a mile from my house. They're on the other side of the main road, but they're over there. And they were carrying on like nobody's business. I was like, okay, come on, girls. We're going in. Let's go. Get inside, like now, right? Yeah. I couldn't. I've heard coyotes before. On many occasions, actually, I've heard coyotes. But it has been a couple of barks and yips, and they almost just sound like dogs barking somewhere. This was unreal. I was a little freaked out, honestly. To be honest, I was a little freaked out. I was like, okay, that's enough for me. That is totally enough for me. Okay, decision time. I have a few 550s here. Here's some here, a few here, and some here. Do I A-B them? Do I A-B them? There's not that many. I think we're going to try it. Let's try it. They're 550 AB. Let's try. Okay. Let's see what happens. All right. See, this is what you do when you're thinking of enhancing and stuff like that. I mean, this is what I did. I bought every square AB drill that I could that was in this painting. Now, I have no intention of using all of them, but I bought everything I could that's available on my list, and then I'll kind of go through and see what I think. So anyhow, I was like, girls, let's get inside. I don't want to be out here. You guys shouldn't be out here. I mean, it's a half a mile away, but still freaky at 3:30 in the morning when everything is dark and quiet. And you're like, okay, right? Whew. Okay, yeah, I like the ABs in there. That looks good right there. And there's a couple. Okay. They're looking nice. Give it a little extra shine. And this is purple, so it's, a floral thing. I always like making my flowers or leaves have an extra shimmer. Because, if you're out in nature, flowers and leaves, they'll pick up that light and they'll just have an extra little shine. Yeah. So that was my experience the other morning at 3:30 in the morning. And I came back to bed and my husband was actually awake. And he's like, did everybody get settled? And I'm like, honey, you won't believe this. And he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, we've heard coyotes before, and they've been out back, like out in the farmer's field out back. But this was just, it was intense. Totally, totally intense. Oh, goodness. So that was my little adventure into nature the other night. And I thought I would share that little story. So, yeah. What I really wanted to talk about, and I thought, I have to have some organization to my stories I'm going to tell. So I thought I would go back in time first and tell the first story that I remember about nature. So when we were kids, I'm going to go back to when we were kids. Now, we would camp. Okay, that was the thing that we did as a family. We had a pop-up camper and we would camp. Most of the time we would camp, around our state because there's so many beautiful places to go in Michigan, and we would just camp in our own state. But I do remember, and I was pretty young, so the memories are a little faded, I mean, I'm thinking my brother was probably 4 or 5, so I probably couldn't have been more than 10, is my thought. But we decided to take a trip. My parents decided to take a trip out west. you know, Yellowstones, the Rocky Mountains, you know, all of that. And that's what we did. And we took our pop-up camper because, you know, that's how we did things. We camped. So we went out west. And I remember driving along, my dad driving, of course, and all of a sudden, boom, there were mountains, right? Never seen mountains before. And it was like, oh my goodness, they were just there. They just all of a sudden popped up. And it was amazing, right? Amazing to see those mountains. They are big and they are beautiful. You know, there's something about mountains that no matter how many times I see mountains, it still is one of the most awe-inspiring things. Oh, that looked like it wasn't in, but it is. Awe-inspiring things in nature is mountains. You know, as a teacher, you know, I've learned about mountains and how mountains were created, and, you know, that they've been pushed up out of the earth, you know. And I'm like, that's a lot of pushing, right? That's a lot of pushing to get something that is that grand and that tall and that beautiful. You know, the Rocky Mountains are the newer mountains. In case you didn't know that. The Rocky Mountains in the west, they're the newer mountains. That's why they are more jagged. They're taller because they're the young ones, okay? The Smoky Mountains, which is over in the eastern part of our country, those are older. Those mountains are older and they're not as tall. Don't get me wrong, there's still some tall mountains, don't get me wrong, but they're not as tall as the Rockies, and they're not as pointy and jagged because they've been around longer and have eroded more than the Rocky Mountains have. Just, that's something I learned as a teacher. Just thought I'd throw that little tidbit out there for you. But I, as a kid, and my memory that I still have of it was just like, wow, there they were, beautiful, gorgeous, you know. I remember being a little scared as we drove through those mountains with my dad driving, the camper behind us, you know, the winding, curving roads that go up through the mountains, cliffs on one side, you know, look over the edge, boom, you know. That's a little intimidating. And I still remember that to this day. But what an adventure, really. What an adventure. So I do remember us stopping in some little town. It must have been like, I don't know, North Dakota, South Dakota, one of those. I couldn't tell you now for sure, but we stopped in this little town and we were having like lunch or whatever, and there were like Native Americans that were artists, and they were out on the street with their paintings, and they had some of the most beautiful, beautiful paintings for sale. I call it the paintings that were like, they were still kind of bumpy, you know what I mean? Like they weren't smooth paint. They had like little bumpy ridges and stuff in their paint. But beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous paintings of, you know, where they live, the mountains and things. Just amazing. I think my mom may have bought a piece of art, and, you know, reasonable prices. These people were just trying to make a living, and they were selling their art, and just beautiful stuff, gorgeous. I'll have to ask her and see if she did buy something. I seem to recall that she did, and if she did, I don't know where it's at or anything, but amazing stuff. Another thing I remember from that little town was There was another Native American gentleman there, and I don't know if we asked or what happened. I don't know, but I remember him teaching us 3 children, us kids, a rain dance. And here we are, like, it's this small little city in the streets, and he's out there teaching us a rain dance, you know. There was music playing, you know, different people were playing their instruments and things like that. It was a pretty cool experience. Something that I would really be into now as an adult, probably more than I was then as a child, but it was pretty cool. That's a memory that I still have of that trip, and a pleasant one. I really, you know, it's a good memory. Another thing I remember from that trip, of course, we went to see Old Faithful, and I remember Old Faithful, just, you know, that's pretty cool to watch. The thing that is really, here's a funny story though. We went to some hot springs. If you've never seen hot springs, they're very interesting. It's just like water that's come up out of the ground, you know, but it's hot because of the core, the Earth's core under there is very warm, you know, and it's made this water kind of bubble and stuff. And they had an area that had like boardwalks across the hot springs, and you could, you probably just saw my face, sorry, I'm looking at the camera. You could walk through the hot springs kind of on the boardwalks, right? And you could look at it, and you could almost feel the heat coming off it, watch it bubble and steam and all kinds of cool stuff. And like I said, my brother was probably 4, maybe 5 at best, is what were our ages. You know, we were young. And we're walking along and staying on the boardwalk and looking at everything. They kind of smell a little, you know, it has an interesting smell to it. But we're walking along. And my brother, oh, look, there's 2 more right there. 2 more right there. My brother loses his hat. He had a baseball cap on, and he loses his hat. It falls into one of the springs because they were kind of like squared off little sections with the boardwalk. So it falls in. And of course, you know, he's crying and he's having a fit because his hat, and he like, I need to get it. And we're like, no, you can't just go in there and get that. That water is boiling and bubbling. It will burn you. And you can't just go grab your hat, you know? And he just kept crying and crying and crying. And finally, my dad was like, fine, I'll get your hat, right? I'll get your hat. And so he found, I don't know, found something, a stick or I don't know, something where he could fish my brother's hat out of the hot springs. Yeah. Here's my dad trying to get the hat out of the hot springs so my brother would stop crying and be happy. And it was quite comical. I mean, I just remember, I thought my brother for sure was going to like try to go in, you know, because he's a kid. What else would he do, right? But got the hat, rescued the hat, saved the day, moved on. Of course, you know, had to let it dry out for a while and all that, but he had his hat and everybody's good. Everything's okay. Oh, God. I told you that we took our camper because we always camped. It was just what we did. And one of the nights we stayed in a campground. We had to be in Yellowstone, you know. I do remember seeing bears when bears would just come up to the cars as you're driving through and stuff like that. Bears were there, and of course crazy people get out and try to see them or whatever and feed them. I don't know what they're trying to do. Get a picture. I'm like, no, you know, I remember as a kid, I was scared. I was like, Mom, there's a bear there, you know. It's okay. We're in our car. It's okay. We'll stay in the car. I'm like, yeah, we're staying in the car. I'm not getting out. But other people would. Um, so the bear were everywhere. They were really prolific at that time, and they were not afraid to come up to vehicles and things like that. Well, we were camping in this campground for one night, and I remember getting up the next morning, and all these people around the campground were talking about the bear invasion, how the bear had come into the campground that night, and all of the things that they had gotten into, all of the food that they had scavenged, people's tents, people's coolers, all this stuff that had been ravaged by the bears in the night. And again, I'm a kid, and what I remember of that was being scared, like thinking there were a bear and they were right outside our camper, and we're just in a camper. It's just like, tarp. It's canvas. They could have gotten us. They could have eaten us, I remember being super scared about that. I mean, it was after the fact. It was the next morning, but I remember as a kid just being scared still. And I was like, oh my goodness. But, lesson to be learned there, if you are in bear territory, you better make sure that everything is secure. Your food is secure and they can't get to it, that kind of thing. Because bear, they don't care. They will find you. They will find your food. They can tear open a cooler. They can get into cars. For goodness gracious, they can get into cars. They can do a real bunch of damage, Like if you are hiking and like sleeping over in a tent or whatever in the mountains, you have to be super careful with food and whatnot, because there are bear and they will come and they will try to take whatever you got, But yep, so those are my memories of being out in the Rocky Mountains when I was a young child. I went back later when I was in Girl Scouts, and I talked about that once before on my channel. And maybe I'll talk about that a little more on another Whip and Chat, but I have a few more memories of that one because, I was like 18 at that time. So that was a long time ago, you guys. I mean, 18 was many years ago. So the memories fade after time, rightfully so, I guess. I would love to go out west again. There is nothing like it. It's amazing. The things that nature has accomplished out there are just, wow. There's other places I would like to go. I would really like to go to see the Badlands. I think that's because I used to teach about the Badlands when I did 4th grade social studies. I would like to go see all of the, what do you call them? My mind's going blank. The rock formations, not necessarily the canyons, but the buttes and go to the Arches. There's a park, Arches National Park or something, and see all of those beautiful things out there. That's something I would like to do someday. That's like on my bucket list, and Dale and I have talked about it, and maybe when he retires, we'll get to do that. We'll take a nice big long trip and just drive around, and see some of these beautiful places. Yeah. So, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about today. I don't know how long I've talked. I have gotten quite a few purples down on my canvas though, so I'm feeling pretty snazzy about that. Yeah. I have to turn off the light pad in a minute and step back and see what it really looks like. Because, it never looks the same with your light pad on as it does with the light pad off. See how those ABs look? Maybe I'll turn it off here real quick and I'll let you guys see if you can pick out those ABs and what you think about them, okay? I put a few little, there's a cluster up here and some spattered down here. I think it'll look pretty. So, anyhow, looking forward to seeing this week's progress and what everybody's accomplished. My goal at this point is just to at least finish this section. Seriously. I mean, I open up a good sized section. It's not that big, actually. You know, it's a smaller section, I think, than I did last time. I should be able to finish this, right? Today, maybe? I don't know. Depends on if I have time to diamond paint today. I'm not making videos. Going to the gym. Actually, it's a nice day today. And Dale has talked about just going for a walk later because it's going to be nice outside. And I am good with that. I mean, A, walking is good for you. B, walking outside is refreshing, makes you feel good. And C, walking outside around our house saves a lot of time driving back and forth to the gym. Right? I'm all about saving some time right now. Because tomorrow morning, Thursday, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm filming on Wednesday today. Normally I film on Tuesday. But I'm teaching Thursday morning and Friday morning. So there's some time I don't have, right? So I have to make the best use of my time. Anyhow. Okay. I'm done with that color. So let me turn off the light pad and see if you can see those ABs. Let's see. Can you see them? I don't know. There aren't very many. It's just adding a little sparkle up here, like I said. A little sparkle. They're there. Doo-doo-doo. I can see them. Sparkle here and a little bit here. I like them. I think I'll leave them. All right. So until next week, you guys, have a great week. Diamond paint on, and I'm looking forward to seeing all your progress. And don't forget to watch Maritza's WIP and Chat. I think she said she's going to put hers up on Friday. Friday. So you don't want to miss that, okay? I have no idea what she's going to talk about. We didn't discuss our WIP and Chats. She's just do her thing, I do my thing. So anyhow, have a great week, you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.